What's going on, everyone? It's Kochyy here, and I have a gameplay review of the new characters. It's a bit late, but I'm not feeling too well right now. I'm a bit under the weather, so if you hear me like coughing or sneezing or anything like that, apologies for that. But I'll try to do this quickly and not take up too much of your time. So we'll start off with Kenny.
お前になら全力で戦っても良さそうだ。
That was Kenny's gameplay. We'll run it back. So this is like exactly what I was talking about when I said we wanted an SP, or I wanted an SP Kenny, and I was explaining like the feats and stuff that he did during the Soul Society arc that could easily be made into an SP character. And one thing I've said was, you know, he just slashed to the right of him and all the buildings just got destroyed and sliced in half, and that's just from the force of his swing and his Reiatsu and all that. And look at this, exactly what we got. The special is insane. Like, Kayla really stepped their game up when it comes to the special animation. Like, it's straight out of the anime, and it just reminds me of all those years back when I saw this for the first time, and I was just getting chills. I was like, oh, like it's about to go down right now. But anyway, props to Kayla for that special animation. Really, really nice. And then the way they did it, they showed the untransformed and the transformed versions. So untransformed is just like a regular, he like slashes a big slash across the screen, and you see like a circular yellow area around him. And then transformed, it's the same thing, but like everything gets destroyed. It's a much larger area or AoE that's affected. The size is the same, it's still full screen, but it just visually looks different. The only thing that's changed is the damage. And then SA2, it's just a beam forward like Thousand Blood War Nemu and Mayuri, and you know, there's other beam characters. Untransformed is just like a rocks and dirt, and then transformed is a bit more like Reiatsu particles and stuff there, and the explosion looks bigger. SA1 is just a lunge, like before and after it's just more Reiatsu, and then his NAD is a 4-hit string, with the last hit being the AoE. So pretty nice for Kenny. I mean, I'll say that the effects from pre and post transformation for him aren't too they don't stand out that much, but pretty satisfied with what they did with his kit and how the special looks. I think the character like design and everything, the aesthetics of it look really nice. So I do have some thoughts about how they could have made some things different, but maybe that's for another video. But anyway, that's Kenny, so we'll move on to the next character. And the next character we're going to look at is Aizen, so let's get into it.
耐え難い天の座の空白の終わり。これからは私が天に立つ。とどめて弱い。もう大丈夫。すぐ来て。この
So that was Aizen's gameplay. We'll run that back. Again, just like Kenny, straight out of the anime, brings back, it's basically like a nostalgia trip. It feels like I'm watching the anime. You know, he rises up on this little platform, he's surrounded by the Menos' like light, I forget what it's called, and then, you know, shatters the glasses, slicks his hair back to the Aizen, the hairstyle we all know, and he's like, I alone will stand at the top or whatever. So pretty dope. And oh, I just noticed this is the effect of the, what is it called, the Gargantua or whatever, that's like closing. I just noticed that's the effect. Wow, that's pretty neat. You can see his barrier effect here is SA3, like 2 slashes across the screen. And then that was untransformed, and then transformed. It's the same thing, but a bit more stronger, like purple color, and like I guess emphasis that maybe it's like more Reiatsu. And then his barrier. So his barrier, it looks like he puts up a wall, and I'm not 100% sure, but it reminds me of this one Kido spell. I think it's called like Danku or something like that, and I feel like Aizen used it maybe in the turn back the pendulum like arc when Tessai like attacked him with some like high powered Kido spell. He like just blocked it with just a regular one, and I think Byakuya also used it when he fought Zamari to block his like love powers, I guess. But I think that's what this is, or what it looks like at least. It's like a kind of transparent wall in front of him. If it's not, you know, correct me if I'm wrong. But that's it, untransformed, and then transformed. Instead, it's the light that the Menos use to save their allies. So that's pretty cool. And then you can see here, it has a different barrier effect as well when he uses that. There's SA1, the Hyaporankan, he just like shoots that out. It's a projectile. Like every Retsu and Isane in the game like have this. It's such a common like attack in this series, or I guess in the game I should say. But I guess they could have gave something different for Aizen for that, but whatever. Use that, and then the transformed version, it just looks a bit more, I guess, powered up, like more Reiatsus like poured into it. But and then we have his NAD, 1, 2, 3, 4. NAD changes from untransformed and transformed, obviously. It's like purple here, and then it's just white here. But his NAD looks pretty nice as well. Overall, I'm pretty surprised with how they finished up this character, like design-wise, and like the animations and everything for the strong attacks. I'm pleasantly surprised. I didn't think it would look that good. You know, despite how I feel about like the SA1 and the 40-second cooldown SA2, Aizen looks pretty fun. Like I wouldn't even mind pulling him, slotting him, max slotting him, and playing him. But and he does have guard break. I saw a lot of people saying like guard break is irrelevant for frenzy characters, and I don't know how people can say that, because just think about it. Against guarded enemies, 2 of your hits out of your total strong attack hits are wasted. So however many hits total you do, you know, a percentage of your damage is gone. With a guard break, you don't have to deal with that. So against guarded enemies, it's like you have like a sad link or something, you know? It's obviously not exact. It depends on how many hits total you do and how much more damage you're doing. But if you don't kill them, if you don't kill guarded enemies before, you'll definitely kill them now. Because you sure as hell don't, you know, wipe enemies in like extreme co-op or inheritance zone with like 170 enemies that are guarded with an SA3. Because I know I don't, and I'm using transcended units as well. So guard break is definitely a win for SP units, so I don't know why people say that that's a waste. But anyway, that's it for Aizen, so we'll move on to the last character. And the last character we're going to look at is Ichigo, so let's get into it.
Bankai! Tensa Zangetsu.
So that was Ichigo's gameplay, and we will run it back. You know, 3 for 3 in my opinion. Maybe I'll give him 2.5 out of 3 in terms of specials. I think Ichigo's special is really nice, like the stance that he does. They got the silver bluish like eye glow that he had right before he used Bankai, and like the stance how he used it. But a couple things, like this Ichigo, I was really hoping they don't use the regular Shikai Ichigo model. I was really hoping they had the, you know, presence of mind to change the model to the outfit he had when he fought Byakuya. Just, you know, take off like this half of his outfit, give him all the bandages and like the wrappings and stuff like that, and give him that look. That would look really nice. I think people would be really happy with that. But unfortunately it's the same kind of like regular Shikai Ichigo model, but that's where the 2.5 out of 3 so far for the specials. Aizen and Kenpachi get a pass, but Ichigo, it could have been just so perfect, but you know, it is what it is. So yeah, they got that part okay, and then uses Bankai here. They have the same pillar of like dust and everything. and then that classic signature pose that he did right after, or like the first time showing off his Bankai, Tensa Zangetsu. And then right after the special, they did the same thing just like the show or like the manga, where all the dust and everything just clears out in like these rings. So I really like that attention to detail. I think they did a good job there. And you can see his kit. So Shikai form, obviously this one is like the easiest recognizable differences. Shikai SA3, like the forward attack, like Thousand Blood Lord Toshiro and all them. And then obviously in Bankai, it's the different colored Reiatsu. Beam SA2, Shikai, Beam SA2 or Bankai, and then the lunge in Shikai and lunge in Bankai. I think the lunge is alright, maybe you could be a little bit faster with it. The Nad looks kind of like meh, but you know, he's not a Nad character, so who cares. Ichigo, I think he looks pretty nice, pretty solid. The one I want most from the banner, so we'll see what happens, but that's pretty much it for this, I guess, gameplay review. Hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know what you guys think after seeing the gameplay of these characters. I know the rates, a lot of people aren't happy with that. I'm not happy with that, and if you're like me and you have 9 out of 9, my advice is maybe just do the discounted steps. Steps 1 and 2, 350 orbs, 20 pulls, and call it good. I think that's what I'll be doing, because I don't want dupes of whatever filler units are there. The fillers are so bad. And I know I'm going to see that Ginjo for sure, but if you really want to summon, then maybe just stick with discounted and call it good whatever you get. And if you want to go for a specific one, do the discounted stuff on their individual banner and call it good there. But other than that, I wouldn't really advise, you know, going too deep on this banner. But if you're even smarter than that, then just skip this entirely, because I think it's kind of just crappy how it is to pull these new mid-month units now. The rates are definitely lower, so that's pretty much it. So if you guys enjoyed, let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you all later.